I'd like to call to order the Finance Committee this evening on November 24th, 2025. Could I have a roll call, please?
Chairperson Palafis.
Present.
Vice Chairperson Newell.
Present.
Trustee Mills.
Present.
Trustee Stanton.
Present.
Trustee Arnett.
Present.
Trustee Canane.
Present.
Mayor McLeod.
Present.
And we have a quorum. Could I have a motion and a second for the approval of the Finance Committee meeting minutes from October 27th, 2025?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Could I get a motion and a second for the Finance Committee meeting minutes for November 6th, special meeting 2025?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any questions or comments about those minutes? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Note the abstention. Ayes have it. Public comment. Is there anybody here who wants to make a public comment on the Finance Committee meeting? Having none, we have three reports to accept. The Finance Department monthly report, the Information Technology Department monthly report, and the Now Arena monthly report. Any questions? Trustee Stanton?
When are we supposed to get our money from the Cook County?
Oh, so you want to field that?
Yeah, well, Rachel's coming up. Usually the money comes in waves from the county. Is it still the case, Rachel?
That is correct. So tax bills are due December 17th, so we are expecting a significant portion of it probably by December 31st. The county's usually pretty good about distributing that to us. So we are optimistic that we will see a good portion of it.
It won't be the full bulk of what we are owed. Is that right?
By the end of the year?
Right.
Probably not. It'll linger into January and February, but again, we are allowed to recognize that revenue back to 2025 because it's for 2025. So
Okay.
we should be fine from a revenue perspective.
All right, great.
Any other questions for any of the reports? All right, having none, we'll accept and file those. President's report, Mayor.
Yeah, a couple of things. First off, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And a few things happened last week. You had the Environmental Committee of the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus, which I attended on Tuesday, the 19th. And we had Jennifer Georgievic and I went over to Schaumburg Township Food Pantry. The Thiwa group for Diwali had brought in all this food for the food pantry. They're going for 1 million pounds of food across the entire country. They're doing this all over the country. Then we had our golf outing meeting for Hope for Hoffman after that. Wednesday the 19th in Municipal Conference Legislative Committee meeting. We had a very popular senior commission luncheon at Moretti's, 144 people. And I was on a CMAP meeting in the work program. And then we had Wine Wednesday at Moretti's, which is always very crowded when we have it at Moretti's. Thursday the 20th, it was the Municipal Conference Transportation Committee. Friday the 21st, we had the CMAP Transportation Committee meeting. And Saturday, we had the ever-popular Friendship Tree Lighting, fireworks, Santa, Choral Airs Entertainment. It was a blast. The fireworks were spectacular. A great job of decorating the Village Hall. The front of that ball is incredible, and stars, and it was fantastic. So, great job by everybody. Then today, I was in a Surface Transportation Reauthorization meeting for U.S. Conference of Mayors. And that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have no items in review, and for other, happy birthday, Mayor.
Thank you.
And with that, I'll take a motion and a second to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you.
Good evening. I would like to call the Public Work and Utility Committee to order on this November 24th. May I have a roll call, please?
Chairperson Newell.
Present.
Vice Chairperson Mills.
Present.
Trustee Palafis.
Present.
Trustee Stanton.
Present.
Trustee Arnett.
Present.
Trustee Canane.
Present.
Mayor McLeod.
Present.
Okay, all accounted for in a quorum we have. Next item would be the approval of minutes, Public Work and Utilities Committee from October 27, 2025.
So moved.
A second.
I have a motion and a second. Any additions, corrections? Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
No nays, motion passed. public comment. Anybody have anything to say for this committee at all? Okay, moving on. New business, we have a few items. The first one is A, approval of an ordinance accepting public improvements for 1721 Moon Lake Boulevard, which is the Seasons Apartments.
So move.
Second.
Okay, you wanna take that on?
Yeah, this would just be our standard public acceptance item. This is related to water main that was installed with Seasons Departments. Happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Any questions? Seeing none, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
No nays? Motion passed. B, approval of a resolution authorizing an agreement with Morton Salt Incorporated for the purchase of road salt in the amount of $228,378.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Joe?
Sorry. In October, we did receive our per ton price for road salt and the bid award information from the state of Illinois. The price this year is $67.84, which is down roughly 11% from our pricing over the last couple of years. We indicated earlier in the spring, our 100% purchase for the snow season is going to be 3,400 tons. And our average usage for a season is around 4,200 tons. So between our current stock, which is around 3,900, and this purchase, we should have adequate salt for the season. Should.
That's what I was going to underline, should. Trustee Stanton?
Joe, you said 6784. I believe you mean 6717.
Oh, I might have wrote it down. I'm wrong in my notes. Hold on.
It's got both different prices in here, if you look at it.
Well, the 2425 was 6784.
Ah.
The 2526 is supposed to be 6717.
For the new
Yeah,
year
that's
coming
correct.
up.
6717.
Okay.
Okay. Alrighty, we have a motion and a second, and we know how much our salt's gonna cost us, that hopefully we don't have to use too much of it. We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No nays, motion passed. C, approval of a resolution authorizing the purchase of vehicle upfitting from Henderson Truck Equipment, which is out of Gilbert's, Illinois, in an amount of $332,459.02.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay,
We purchased 2 chassis in 2024. We received those chassis this summer, and this will be the upfitting for those. They're both large dump trucks with snow and ice equipment. Henderson is the vendor that we've used in the past around Gilbert's, Illinois, and we expect, should this be approved, we would expect delivery in the 3rd or 4th quarter of 2027.
Jeez.
There's still a wait for upfitting.
any questions up here? We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
No nays, motion passed. D, approval of a resolution authorizing an agreement with Ciorba Group Incorporated for design engineering for the 2025 lift station assessment in an amount not to exceed $155,487.94.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, go ahead.
This item is for an assessment for a third-party analysis of our remaining lift stations, ones that haven't been rehabbed or reconstructed in the last few years. We're going to use that information for our long-term capital improvement planning and the prioritization of our projects. We do have a number of lift stations coming up in the current CIP, and we want to make sure that the order that we have them is as it should be.
Okay. Okay, seeing no questions, we have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
No nays, motion passed. E, authorization to approve change order number 3 for construction services for Pfizer lift station improvements to Martin Construction Incorporated of Elgin, Illinois, in an amount not to exceed $29,709.92.
So moved. Second.
All right, this will be the last change order and finalizes our project at Pfizer Lift Station. The first two change orders, one was a time extension. One was, they both had some additional costs. One of those we've submitted to ComEd, which I see Joe in the audience. We submitted to ComEd for reimbursement. So this changes it out. Actually, our total cost is under the not to exceed amount that was originally approved by the board. However, this change order does include a 48-day time extension that ended on October 8th, in which the project was finally completed.
All right, any questions up here? Seeing none, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
No nays, motion passed. Reports, Public Works Department monthly report.
Nothing to add.
Nothing to add. That will be received and filed. Engineering Division monthly report.
Nothing to add.
Okay, that will be received and filed. President's report.
Nothing else, trustee Newell.
Okay, thank you. Nothing in items in review, but I got just a couple little things under other. First of all, happy birthday, Mayor.
Thank you.
Excellent job on the tree lighting to Public Works and anyone else that was in on this whole thing, because it was a fabulous, just absolutely fabulous. So many good comments that we got from people that were out there that participated, you know, it was really great. And anybody traveling or anything else, happy Thanksgiving, have a safe one with family, friends, whoever you're celebrating with, just be safe, and that's all I have. So then we're going to move on to a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
A motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
No nays, motion passed, and we are adjourned. Thank you.
I would like to call to order the Public Health and Safety Committee meeting for November 24th, 2025. Can I have a roll call, please?
Chairperson Mills,
Present.
Vice Chairperson Palafis,
Present.
Trustee Newell,
Present.
Trustee Stanton,
Present.
Trustee Arnett,
Present.
Trustee Canane,
Present.
Mayor McLeod.
Present.
Thank you. We have a quorum. First order of business is approval of minutes for the Public Health and Safety Committee meeting of 10/27/2025.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any corrections, comments? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Public comments. Does anybody wish to address this committee this evening? Seeing no comments, we'll move on. We have no old business this evening, and we have no new business this evening. We do have reports to be filed, to be accepted and filed. Police Department monthly report. Anything to highlight? Thank you. Health and Human Services Department. Anything to highlight? Nothing. Thank you. Emergency Management Division monthly report. Nothing on that. And Fire Department monthly report. Chief, you have anything you wish to highlight? Thank you. All those reports will be received and filed. And President, do you have anything else to
Nothing
say
else,
tonight?
trustee Mills.
Thank you, sir. We have one item in review, and that's the authorization of the design, floor plans, and site plan for the construction of the new fire station, number 22. Do we know when that'll be coming in?
Hopefully, our committee meetings are combined in December on the second Monday, so likely the second Monday.
Okay. And we have nothing other to come before this committee. I would also wish to give a happy birthday to Mayor McLeod. May you have many more.
Thank you.
Compliments to Public Works. You guys did a fantastic job Saturday. And everything went very smoothly. Those fireworks were outstanding, and so were the decorations. And also, as Trustee Newell and the mayor said, happy Thanksgiving to all. Please enjoy your family this weekend or friends. And we are very thankful for all of our village staff and residents. So travel safe, have a good time. And once again, happy Thanksgiving. I look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. We are adjourned. Thank you.
I'd like to call to order the Planning, Building, and Zoning Committee. It was a special meeting for this November 24th, 2025. May we have a roll call, please?
Chairperson Stanton?
Present.
Vice Chairperson Arnett?
Present.
Trustee Kinane?
Present.
Trustee Mills?
Present.
Trustee Newell?
Present.
Trustee Palafis?
Present.
Mayor McLeod?
Present.
Okay, we have a quorum. Public comment. Anybody wish to address us on any item or any items? No items? New business. We have 3. First is an approval of a license agreement with Commonwealth Edison Company, known as ComEd, for underground electric distribution lines in the Chatham Drive, Essex Drive, Beacon Point Drive, Beverly Road, and Trillium Boulevard rights of way.
So moved.
I'll second.
Alan?
Yep, thank you. So this is the second route to serve the Compass Data Center. The license agreement mimics the previous agreements that were approved, other than a small inclusion for a portion of Beverly Road that's in the township jurisdiction. And the township is also taking this same agreement to their board for approval, and that's expected by the end of the month. Happy to answer any specific questions.
Trustee Palafis?
How many lines are they burying and how big are they?
We have some representatives from ComEd here that could give you that answer.
My name is Mohammad Zikrullah Hassan. I'm from ComEd. So we are installing 2 underground lines in 2 separate routes. So the second line that we are now putting the license agreement in front, that is 20 feet deep in some area, and some areas 3 feet deep. So the length would be like 10 to 20 feet max. I mean the width. I'm sorry.
Cool. How much power are you going to be running through there?
138 kV lines. These are.
Okay. So similar to Microsoft.
Yes, I would say. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Any other question?
Yeah, any other questions up here? All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Yes.
I was just going to mention too for this project, so as you approved at the last meeting, we will have a separate resident engineer assigned to this project. So we're obviously going to be sensitive when we go through the residential neighborhoods and having a lot of contact with the neighbors, meetings, and trying to do restoration certainly as quickly as we can. But appreciate your support on that previous contract for that RE.
Will those be the same depth? Will they be going 20 feet deep through the residential?
That I can't speak to.
I'm just curious. I
Yeah.
mean, it's really, that's really deep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
No.
I'll ask you when we do that one.
Not 20 feet deep in the residential
No.
area.
So that'd be,
Tollway crossing area and
Gotcha.
other utilities areas on Beverly Road, but not in the residential.
okay.
All right, we have another item, B, approval of an ordinance authorizing the execution of a Lot 8 redevelopment agreement and the issuance of a TIF note for Lot 8 in the Higgins-Hassel redevelopment project area in the village of Hoffman Estates, Illinois, known as Higgins-Hassel TIF District.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Kevin?
Can I get my screen up on the screen? Thank you. I have some visuals for you all.
We love pictures,
Yeah.
especially yours and Phil's.
Well, thank you.
Dan's got some good ones.
Mine aren't quite as fun, but they get the point across.
Okay.
This first one, the Grand Reserve project that I wanted to mention, 2 parts to kind of this whole project. The first part is this Grand Reserve, seeking some self-generated TIF increment funds to build their 335 Class A apartments. And then the second part that is next on the agenda is amending or rather terminating the agreement that's already in place with the current shopping center owner and that note that's in place. So for this first one, where there's a motion and a second, I just kind of wanted to call out a couple of points here. First, this did go to a neighborhood meeting with Barrington Square next door last week, along with Plan Commission last week, where it received unanimous approval from the site plan for those 335 units, apartments for rent, Class A apartments, 2 phases, a 5-story building and a 4-story building, studio, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, no 3 bedrooms here. Going through the RDA in section 401, as typical we do here, it's a pay-as-you-go. So what they're requesting, they're only being reimbursed from the increment that they generate on their lot that you can see from that site plan. Nothing else from any other village accounts. It's only coming from this TIF from what they generate. And what is that dollar amount then? Phase 1 is a not to exceed $5 million. And phase 2 is a not to exceed $3 million for a total of $8 million plus a 6% interest compounded annually. And again, if there's not enough in there at the end of the TIF, which is December 31st, 2035, that's all they get, and they understand that. Section 403 just talks about all the taxing districts. This is our first TIF district where we would have residential. According to the TIF Act, those school districts and other taxing districts would need to report the number of students they have from there, and that's what they get paid based on the number of students they have there. And that comes off the top increment that they've generated before the split. Before the developer would then get 95% of the split of what's left, and the village account then, or the general TIF account would get 5% of that increment. And then just the last 2 sections I wanted to highlight. The agreement expires after that last payment. So I said the TIF expires at the end of 2035. Those taxes are payable in 2036. When that money comes in, that payment would go to the developer, and then the agreement would expire. And lastly, if they don't purchase the land, this is the trigger to get them going. If they don't purchase it by March 1st, this whole agreement becomes void. There's representatives of the developer here. If you have questions for them, that's what I have.
Kevin, isn't this putting the cart before the horse? We haven't seen this project in front of us to give it approval, and then yet you're asking us to go ahead with the TIF beforehand.
So the project, as I said, went to Plan Commission last week. It'll come to the board next week, which is when we like to bring this to the board as well to kind of all wrap it up. So you know what you're approving when you approve the agreement itself.
So why are we being asked to approve this tonight?
So that it can come to the board on the 1st, and both things can be approved, so the developer can have confidence moving forward, buying the project and getting going in the spring.
The motion isn't to approve it in front of us in a week or whatever it comes in front of us. This motion is to approve it now.
Right, but you're not approving it tonight. You're making a recommendation to yourself next week. So the idea is that we would get this in front of the board tonight, answer any questions you may have about it, and then you'll take up the final approval of this item, the DeShao note, and then the zoning matter, all next week.
Mayor, go ahead.
You want, Trustee Stan, why don't you suggest they just be sent to the board without any sort of recommendation? We can decide that next week.
I agree.
Okay.
Trustee Palafis.
Actually, Mills was first, but
No, thank
I'll
you.
go, if you want.
Go ahead.
So what's the tax base at today that we're freezing? I mean, their upside is 13 million. Off of what? Is it at 0? Is it at $1 million?
No, it's not at 0. And Rachel, I'm not remembering the number offhand just for that lot.
Just get me in the
It was set
ballpark.
After Menards was already demolished. So it was
Yeah.
pretty low. But I don't remember the exact number offhand.
I would imagine it'd be pretty low. I mean, right now it's just a glorified soccer field if you put some goals out there and stripe it. But, so the upside's 13 million. And then within there is a split at certain points for the other taxing bodies.
Correct.
And that's the 95.5.
So, say $1 million comes in an increment, right?
Mhm.
Say the taxes, when the base was 100,000, that's what the districts are getting now. In a few years, they're paying 1.1 million. So the million is the increment that comes in. Off the top goes to the school. The school districts would report, hey, we're getting 5 kids from that development. And so we give them according to what they pay per pupil. So if it's $20,000 times the 5 kids, we would send from that million $100,000 to the school district. We have 900,000 left. That's when we'd pay our admin costs, or if there's any defense or attorney costs, up to $5,000. That could come off there, but for round numbers, let's say we have $900,000, that gets split 95-5.
And 54 and 211 both agreed to that?
That's what's in the state statutes for the TIF Act. That, yes, as long as they tell us, the village, this is how many students we've had from that development, from that TIF district in that given year, that's when we make the payout to them first.
But they still get impact fees as well, right?
Correct. For the they get those typical development fees, yeah.
And then there's a follow-up I had on that, but I blanked. Do you want to go with your question? Maybe I'll get it back.
Yeah, maybe it'll be the same.
Maybe.
Normally in a TIF district, you meet with the various taxing bodies prior to it coming in for public hearing and all that. Do we not do that with this one?
We do before starting a TIF. We don't do it before every development or project within a TIF.
But this is going to be a separate TIF, as I gather.
It's all the same TIF. We're not doing a new TIF. We're not doing a micro TIF. We're not doing anything else. We're just carving what we'll get in the next agenda item. Right now, Joe Caruso, DeShow, that organization gets 100%, 50% of the increment that comes in from 100% of the parcels. We're just going to carve this parcel out for this developer, and then the rest of the parcels will still be split between the village, the general village account for the TIF and the developer account with DeShow.
Okay, but
it's not a new TIF.
Okay, but it's being residential, this is a first. We have not done this before, so I just wonder if these taxing districts would be wanting to have some input because of it now being a residential part of it.
Yeah, it's something we've met with the school districts pretty regularly just to keep them up to date on, hey, here's a new project coming in. Let us know if you have any concerns. And we've done that both with Kensington, with the townhomes and the apartment stuff, kind of keeping them up to date just so that they can kind of know. We even go to them, do you have space at the nearby schools for these students so that, whether it's the townhomes or the apartments, that they're not mis-selling, hey, there's a school right next door when maybe your student can't go there. So
yeah, that was a question that came up last week, truthfully, was how many kids is this going to generate for the school district?
Yep.
We really didn't get an answer to that question.
The answer is very few, and we can go to like a Seasons, which is a pretty comparable development in the same area. You're not getting a lot of students, especially when you don't have 3 bedrooms.
Sure. Well, they do have 3 bedrooms over at Seasons.
Right, but this one will not.
Right.
And so that it limits it even more, the number of students that would be generated from there. So we've been keeping in touch with the school districts. But yeah, similar to these school districts they're pretty sophisticated when it comes to TIFs as well. So they're used to this.
All right, next question. You said that the first building, the first phase, has a limit of 5 million.
Correct.
And the second phase has 3 million. Now, theoretically, if the first phase gets developed and they don't need 5 million, so they only need 4.5, does that other $500,000 carry over to the 3 for the second phase?
It would not. However, most of their TIF eligible expenses will be spent in phase 1.
Okay.
So they'll have most of the even purchase of the property is a TIF eligible expense. That gets you pretty close to that $5 million.
Sure.
However, to your point though, if they decide not to build phase 2, because maybe phase 1 was slower than they thought or market condition changes or something, then they would not be eligible for that 3 million, even if they had $8 million worth of eligible expenses. They would still only be eligible up to 5 for that phase 1.
Another question has to do with this 95% split. That sounds a lot different than what we've done in the past. Is it, I don't know, I mean, we only get 5%, or the 5% goes in the general account.
Yeah.
Well, how did you come up with the 95? I mean, what's the reasoning between changing it?
Yeah, the big reasoning here is the developer is taking all of the risk on this. If it does go well and it pops up and increment goes up, they're going to benefit from that. And if they get paid back and there's still a year or two left on the TIF, we're still taking that money into the TIF. And so we're still benefiting there. The other reasoning is we've looked as staff at what other projects might we want to do in the last 9 years of this TIF. There's not a lot of TIF eligible projects that we could see from the village side taking on. So there's not a lot that we need to be banking dollars for. So that was the other reasoning behind, as long as the village isn't taking the risk and the dollars to the taxing districts get paid off before the split, then giving them the majority of it was okay because they were taking more of that risk. Similar to Bellworks, the developer was taking more of that risk. They're in a 10-year phase right now of a 95-5 split.
Okay.
Just because the village doesn't have a lot of projects that we might be doing on that side.
And to add on to that, the reality of the situation is we only have 12 years left ish on this TIF. And while 12 years is a long period of time in tax increment financing, it isn't. So we have a really important piece of property in that geographical section of the village that we need to get moving on something, right? We should get something built there. As I mentioned in our budget discussion, part of growing ourselves to greatness, I guess, is in raising our EAV. Well, this is a long-term play. This isn't a short-term return on investment. This is a long-term investment into the community. So part of that reasoning is the developer, while taking that risk, is on a much shorter runway than they would if they were coming in on a new TIF, let's say, over at Pembroke and Stonington, where you still maybe have 20 years left.
Now, all right, now that we've got this, if this TIF goes through, through the planning process, do they still have to make their contributions to the school districts and the park districts?
Yeah, the development fees and all of that.
All
is
that'll still be,
typical.
okay.
Correct. Yep.
All right, that's all I've got right now. Thank you.
Hold on, Pat.
She loosened up my question, which was even though this looks like a residential TIF, technically apartments are commercial entities. So it's really the commercial, it's kind of a zebra, if you will. It's a commercial entity that has a residential. Okay. I just wanted to double check that for sure. And then it looks like on their Exhibit D, which is on page 97 of 118, that the TIF eligible costs for phase one, they're guesstimating is about 10 million.
Yeah.
So when you mentioned that most of the TIF eligible expenses will be in phase one, that's what you're pointing at in terms of, okay.
And those are estimates too, so they still have to
I wasn't
submit all the
demeaning what-
documentations
Yeah.
for us to review, and 10 million might actually be 6 million, right? I would hope for them, right? They're saving money if it's only 6 million, but yes, we still review all of that before just saying yes to 10 million.
Trustee Kinane.
I just wanted to say that for as long as I can remember, that's been a vacant piece of property. It's sat empty ever since Menards packed up and left. And, and like Eric said, it's time that we start moving forward. It's a prime piece of real estate. I think it would be great to have the apartment units there because of the shopping area and other things there. It'd be great for our small businesses in that area. And it would be nice to see something there instead of grass. So that's my point. I would like to see this very much move forward.
One more question.
Okay, go ahead.
Do we have any idea what Seasons has for kids? Just out of curiosity, because you brought it up.
We don't, the school districts aren't always forthcoming with those.
I'm just curious,
When you
yeah.
ask those questions, unless they have to be because they're in a TIF.
Yeah.
And, so.
I mean, that area's
yes,
not. I
we've
was just-
seen
yeah.
where school districts have to report in TIFs, we've seen some of those numbers.
Yeah.
And they are very low. But we don't know for seasons exactly.
Do they have to report in this type of TIF?
If they want their money, yeah.
Oh, so they do, okay.
Yeah, so
unlike,
if they want to get paid for the students they have here, they have to tell us and show us, these are the students we have living there.
And one thing I want to add to that too is when we have, as Trustee Mills had mentioned about the annual meetings, so we have our annual joint review board meetings, right, for each TIF. And so when we have those meetings, Rachel gives a presentation of the finances where all the dollars and cents are, and then Kevin gives an overview to all the district representatives about what we're looking at. And so we've had ongoing discussions. I remember even just when next door at Kensington Fields, when that was being built, we had reached out to 54 especially and said, you've got a school right across the street. Are you okay with this? And the response from the school districts was they were more welcoming more students at this point. So we have I would say in a general sense, we have ongoing conversations, especially with 54 and 211. I had a conversation, I met with the superintendent at 220 this year back earlier in the spring. I like to think we have good relationships with all of our taxing bodies and certainly keep that line of communication open.
Anna, go ahead.
Just, I don't know if this is the time to ask it, but, okay, so you're standing in the parking lot and you were looking at the old Menards, right? There's that little side road that kind of winds around and then goes back into Blackberry Falls and Dooley over there. Is that road gonna stay? Oh, you're smiling. Does that mean it's staying or is it going?
It's staying, and I know it's hard to see on there. There'll be
Yeah,
parking along
I
it,
can't
though.
tell.
There's parking along it. So anytime you add parking, people are going to be slowing down. I don't know if you've ever, people find the shortest way to speed as fast as they can.
Oh,
to
yeah,
cut
they
through
don't
from
even
Higgins
pay
to
attention
Hassel
to
and
that
vice
stop
versa,
sign
right?
over there. They just
Yep.
keep on going.
So we took that into account. That was some of the very first feedback we gave to the developer of how can you what traffic calming measures, and I mean, even just having parking there, people are naturally going to slow down. Actually, they'll probably go around toward the bowling alley now, because I think you can probably speed a little quicker past the side of the bowling
Yeah, you
alley.
can.
But yes, we have thought about that. We still want to keep it because it's a good access point, but
Okay.
we were looking at what ways can we naturally slow people down.
Okay, now will they close that off when they start building, like block it off so that they have their trucks and?
Yes, as they're doing the earthwork and all of that, that will be closed off, I would imagine, for a period of time. We haven't gotten into that. And the developers here, back there, they can speak to their phasing plan of how they would go about doing this, because they've done many of these around the suburbs.
Okay, no, I was
in all
just
different
curious,
areas.
there's a couple of doctor's offices over there, and a lot of them use that as,
Yeah.
hey, rather than going all the way through Hassel
Yeah.
and through the front
Yeah,
end, so.
it may be closed down, I would imagine, as grading happens, but yes, we will work with them to facilitate making sure people know it's closed and, that you can get around the other side of the building.
Okay, thank you.
one more.
Yes, go ahead.
Is the developer technically Caruso, Mr. Caruso and his, okay, so
It's a separate group that they're selling to.
Gotcha.
If you guys want to come up and introduce yourself.
because in the
Mike, or
financial impact,
Tony.
Kevin, you say the TIF note for 6,608,000 some change is with the developer.
That's a different one. That's the second agenda.
Oh, I'm ahead, okay.
Yeah.
My name's Tony Alessi with Synergy Construction. I'm a principal at the firm and not only the developer, but the general contractor.
Want to repeat your name, sir?
Tony Alessi.
And my name's Michael Fursell. I'm the counsel for Synergy, which has developed this in several other projects throughout the suburban areas. If you'll allow me, if it's appropriate, we can embellish on a couple and clarify a couple of points here that have been made. Number one, we will not be collecting 12 years worth of taxes. You do not collect the increment until the project is built and it's on the tax rolls. And as you know, Cook County is a year behind. And so we don't expect the first TIF revenue to come out of phase one until 2028 or 2029. Phase 2 would be 2 years later. So there's a possibility we will have only 6 years, 6 to 7 years on phase 2. And to us, that is the reason that we have asked for the larger amount. Caruso will be collecting 50% over 23 years. And that is so there's a compression there. Number 2, on the number of students, you ask how many there will be. It's impossible to tell until the project is built and it's leased out. This is the 6th project I have worked on for this developer, all extremely successful. There is not one project that has more than, there are 2 school districts here. And we have gone to experts. We have consultants who have advised us. At most, you would have 6 students between the 2 school districts. We have projects where there are none. Okay? My last clarification is the state of Illinois Department of Education requires every school district to file a report every year with its per capita cost per student. It is sworn to, and it's an affidavit by the school district that this is what it costs. And that amount is what we would be, and it varies year to year as their costs go up or down. And that is the amount per student, per school district that would be taken off the top. We have no discretion in that. The state does not, nor does the school district, because that's the law. So we are simply following the law in that area. Hopefully those clarifications will give you a better impression. And by the way, as Kevin said, this is a first-class project. It is not B. These are A apartments, Class A apartments. The rents are going to be market. Hoffman Estates has achieved a very, very high level and standard. And so these are going to be luxury apartments. And many folks that have kids in school can't afford luxury apartments. There are many other apartment projects around that they could easily go to. But there will be a financial barrier to entry. But whatever the number of students are, is what we're required by law and the villages to pay the school districts. Finally, the library district is by law entatled to a percentage of the TIF dollars that is mandated. I believe it's 2%. So we are required to pay that as well. I apologize if I was long-winded, but if you have any other questions.
Comments back, I didn't want to leave you gentlemen with the impression that we're worried about the number of kids. I'm not anyway, because enrollment's dropping in the elementary district. So they're excited if you bring all the kids you need. But I was just curious what the numbers were, because adjacent to your project was another apartment set of buildings, not in a TIF, so that part's separate. I was just curious, because those are also Tier A, what, some of the numbers were. So it was just more out of curiosity for me.
And finally, the village's own TIF consultant has estimated the taxes on a per unit basis, and let's use round numbers, over $6,000 a unit. And let's assume there are 300 units. It's $1.8 million a year. The school districts get about 2/3 of that amount, somewhere in that area. When this TIF is over in 2036, they get 100% of their share. So it's a short-term investment by the school districts for a long-term, much larger return. Because as Eric said, this is a long-term project. It's going to be here a long, long time. Thank you.
Arthur Gennaro, would you like to address this?
Yeah. Just a few things. Number one, I think my recollection might be Caruso is going to be at 75-25%.
We're going to talk about that next.
Okay. And so that'll come up. And second of all, conceptually, what has happened is we had DeShow that had developed a TIF, and out of that TIF area, They had a development agreement and a note, and they're owed money from the TIF. And conceptually, what we're doing is we're kind of, the TIF geographically is still going to be there. However, we're getting rid of the existing development agreement. We're getting rid of the existing note, and we're going to form 2 development agreements and 2 notes. One will be for Lot 8, and the other one will be for all of the other area. The amount that is owed to Shao under the present note will be carried over into the new note. So these are 2 they're going to be 2 separate developments and 2 separate agreements. That's all I have.
Thank you. I just have a question here, since we don't have the project in front of us right now. What I've got on Exhibit B and Exhibit C, it looks like your Phase 1 is going to be the closest to McDonald's?
Right.
Why are you doing that, just out of curiosity?
Really, we consulted with.
Microphone.
I consulted with a management company. We originally had Phase 1 in the back, and we really thought it would make the area visible, robust. That main entrance really capture you from Higgins Road. So you see the project immediately, and I think there's a lot of value in that to get leasing going and then move into that Phase 2 project.
Okay. All right. We have what is called an approval of an ordinance authorizing the execution, but if we actually approve that tonight, it's a done deal before we even have the project in front of us.
Nothing's a done deal. So again, under your governance structure, you're in a committee right now. The committee is making a recommendation to the full board of trustees, which is yourself, but you're making a recommendation to the board meeting. Only the village board of trustees can take final action on something. So this is just you're approving it, you vote aye, but the approval is a recommendation.
Okay.
I just want to add one thing also, that until we have an agreement with all the exhibits and it's been properly executed by the parties with the village, take action. So there's still a few things, a few documents, a few signatures that are going to have to be taken care of in the next week.
What I would recommend, Trustee Stanton, is both of these items in the structure of the board meeting next week. As you know, we have planning and zoning items when the chair from the Planning and Zoning Commission or Plan Commission comes forward. You review those, ask questions, approve that. We would put these 2 items under additional business following that site plan approval.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. Does everybody else understand?
Totally.
Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed, I might say nay, but I'm not positive, but I'm going to say it
I thought we were
anyway.
sending this without a recommendation.
No.
Wasn't
No,
that
this
the
is a-
comment that the mayor made?
Well,
I mean, at the end of the day,
Doesn't
it
matter.
doesn't matter. You could vote present, Trustee Stanton, if you want to
I'll
take.
vote present.
Okay.
All right, that leaves us with C, approval of an ordinance authorizing the issuance of a TIF note for Higgins Hassel redevelopment project area, except Lot 8.
And Mr. Janur teed this up for me. As he said, your outline on the screen there, the white outline shows the TIF, so that includes the Blackberry Falls office, medical office, the bowling alley, all of those, and the outlots in front. By peeling this off, we need to terminate the existing redevelopment agreement that we have with Dishau, because that agreement includes increment from Lot 8. So what's before you is terminating that agreement, and the existing note that ends up being about $8.8 million, of which about 1.8 has been paid out, and issuing a new note, not a new redevelopment agreement, because there's no other development or terms or anything that the village and the developer need to agree to. There's just, the developer has done the work, it's been certified as TIF eligible, Now it's doing a new note to pay that back as the increment comes in. So the two changes in this note from the current note is that it will not capture that increment from Lot 8, and there's going to be a new split. Instead of 50-50, after the administration costs come off the top, it splits 75 to the developer and 25 to the village. Again, as I answered Trustee Mills before, we don't anticipate as many projects over the next decade as we had the first decade and a half here of that the village would need to fund. So even getting 25% there gives us enough to add or do a few things if we need to in this area, whether it's along Hassel Road or Higgins Road. So those are the two changes to this specific note.
So I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So part of me wants to say this would have been great to have 10 years ago without that sounding demeaning, because I think the position of the property owner back then wanted a lease, which was, kind of a silver bullet to make sure nothing ever happened. So I like this. The money movement, I mean, is it ever realistic that we'll get to that increment? I don't see it, but.
My personal, probably not, unless there's some other large changes to the bowling alley, to some other outlots. Like they've been great about getting some increment, which, for what we've gone through with this center in the past 25 years has been phenomenal. Even with this 75-25 split, they might not still get there to that 7 million that they are already owed.
I hope they do.
Yeah.
But, okay.
And I did want to say, counsel for DeShao for Joe Caruso is here, Bruce Huvard, if you have any questions for him too.
Other than why didn't we do this 10 years ago, which I don't know if you want to answer, but this is great now.
We've been trying for a long time. We've entertained other offers from other developers that didn't work out, so we're delighted about this one.
Yeah, I remember.
Anybody else with any questions up here? All right, we have a motion to approve the ordinance authorizing the issuance. So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And I'll vote present.
And I just
Go ahead.
thank you.
Can you introduce yourself?
I'm Bruce Huvard.
And can you give us an address?
I'm in Glencoe. My office is in Glencoe, Illinois, with my own firm. I've represented the DeShao company since 2012. I was the one who negotiated with Arthur the redevelopment agreement that is before you tonight. And I've watched this family spend years trying to get the property redeveloped. The staff has been great. I've worked with Arthur Jenner for all these years. Kevin Kramer's been great. Mark Copland before him has been great. The village has been a great supporter of us. And I know that Joe Caruso Nilco, who's in Holland, would want me to express their gratitude to the board for taking this action. Really appreciate it. They have completed all of the work to be done by them as the developer. The only work left to be done is on Lot 8. So what this vote does when it goes to the board next week is it allows them to basically sit back and hopefully recover their investment. And I hope the village can appreciate, one of the metrics of a successful TIF is the degree to which the public investment leverages private investment. And if you look at the numbers that the village has allowed us to recover versus the amount we've spent, I think the village has done very well, and it looks like it's going to do very well again on the balance. So thank you again.
All right. Yeah, we took the vote. There's nothing in other. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Any opposed? The ayes have it, and we are adjourned.